What are some parents thinking? All new Dr. Phil.
Good evening, I'm Bob Schieffer. The president makes his final push on Social Security reform. Congress says it's ready to get serious about it, but is the whole idea already dead? We'll start there tonight, then we'll cover these stories.
Shoot first. I'm Jim Acosta in Florida, where a law signed today allows citizens to use force if threatened.
I'm Lee Cowan in Baghdad, where a new weapon for war is turning up on TV. I'm Mark Strassman, with a fight over what books should be off your child's reading list.
Want to be heard around the world? I'm Sharon Alfonsi. I'll tell you why it's only a mic and a few clicks away.
This is the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
For 2 months now, President Bush has been crisscrossing the country campaigning for Social Security reform and his plan to allow workers to divert some of their payroll taxes into private savings accounts. But the campaign has not worked. The plan is more unpopular today than when the president began, and today he made one more try. We're covering this story tonight from both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue. Bill Plant is at the White House. Gloria Borger is on Capitol Hill. We start with you, Bill.
Well, Bob, the president kicked it up a notch today, suggesting that this generation has a moral obligation to fix the Social Security system.
I look forward to doing something about it with people of both political parties to permanently solve the Social Security system once and for all. And then we can say we did our duty.
But polls show that despite campaigning in 23 states, Mr. Bush has made little progress, even lost ground on his pitch for personal accounts. He admits those accounts won't solve the problem of keeping the system solvent, but has so far refused to say how he thinks that should be done. The details? He says those must come from Congress.
Doing nothing is not an option, because doing nothing is a cut in benefits.
The Senate Finance Committee got down to business today with a panel of experts. Their suggestions for a permanent fix ranged from linking benefits to income, to using money from the estate tax to help fund Social Security, to personal retirement accounts with a guaranteed minimum benefit.
Those of you that are bad-mouthing every other suggestion out there, suggest your own plans.
But committee Democrats, while agreeing that the system's finances have to be fixed, remain firmly opposed to the president's idea of allowing individual investment accounts.
We do not need to privatize Social Security to save it. That's a very key point.
The congressional battle is now underway. Democrats today mounted a campaign-style rally to make the point that, contrary to what the administration is hoping, they remain united in their opposition to the president's plan.
And if he thought there was no fight left in the Democratic Party, by golly, he was sadly mistaken.
The White House continues to insist that the president can convince the public that the Democrats who refuse to play are being obstructionist. And never mind that 60 days of campaigning hasn't changed much. The president's spokesman says he'll just keep on doing it. Bob?
Well, let's go to Capitol Hill then. Gloria, as we saw there, the Finance Committee is meeting. They'll write the legislation. But my sense of it is that nobody is anywhere close to coming up with a bill yet. Do you think this thing is already dead?
Well, at this point, Bob, the president surely doesn't have anywhere near the votes that he needs. In fact, his biggest problem is with his own Republicans. They're looking at those polls. They're worried that these private accounts could hurt them in the midterm elections.
Well, Bill, does the president have any kind of exit strategy here? Any way he can back away from this, or will he go down fighting on this one?
He'll go down fighting, but if it doesn't work, he'll simply declare victory and just appoint another commission. And then he'll change the subject.
Okay, I want to change the subject here, Gloria, because an unusual thing happened today down in Galveston. Congressman Tom DeLay, who's having all these problems on the ethics front, was at this rally where the president appeared. Now, everybody knows they don't get along very well. They're not anywhere close to being close. But the president did give Tom DeLay a ride back to Washington. Should we read anything into that?
Well, look, the president needs Tom DeLay right now for an issue like Social Security. He went out of his way to praise his leadership on the issues facing the country. And then, as you say, Tom DeLay went back to Washington with the president aboard Air Force One. And when DeLay landed in Washington, he said that he really appreciated the president's gracious support, Bob.
Thank you very much, Gloria. To another subject entirely now, the idea of using a gun in self-defense is fairly well established across the country, but a new law today in Florida gives self-defense in that state a whole new meaning. Here's Jim Acosta now with that story.
In the gun control debate, it was a shot heard round the nation. Today, Florida Governor Jeb Bush signed the law that broadens the rights of armed citizens to fire their weapons in self-defense. Before, Florida residents outside their homes had a so-called duty to retreat when confronted with the potential for violence. Now, they can meet force with force.
When there's a life-threatening situation, to have to retreat and put yourself in a very precarious position, you know, defies common sense.
It says to people you can stand your ground, and if you feel reasonably threatened that harm is going to come to you, you can fire away.
At the governor's side was the former president of the National Rifle Association. The gun lobby is aiming to rush the measure through state capitals, as it did so effectively with laws to allow people to carry concealed weapons.
It means that now the law and their government is on the side of law-abiding people and victims rather than on the side of criminals.
Some in Miami's law enforcement community fear the law is shoot first, ask questions later, and could turn the state into the Wild West.
It gives somebody who has a gripe with his neighbor, right, all of a sudden a reason now to get even.
You could be on the street, you could be in your car.
Former Miami prosecutor Katie Fang wonders how the legal system would sort out a bar fight that escalates into a firefight.
Who's going to start claiming self-defense? Who's going to start saying what was reasonable, what wasn't? There used to be a time when the jury would decide that, but now it's going to be who has the better aim, in my opinion.
Dead men don't talk.
I guess not.
This law shifts the gun control debate from owning firearms to when you can use them. The real key is that prosecutors have to presume innocence, that you were afraid if you pulled the trigger. Bob?
So I want to make sure we're reporting this story correctly here, Jim. I get in an argument with my neighbor across the fence in the backyard, and I have a feeling that he's getting ready to shoot me or something, so I pull out a gun and shoot him. And that's okay under this law?
That's about it. If you feel like your life is in jeopardy, what this law says is that you are presumed innocent if you pull the trigger and shoot this person in self-defense. Now, of course, the state's attorney's office, the local prosecutor's office will have to take a look at this and find out if there's any evidence that says otherwise. But from the get-go, you are presumed innocent.
Okay, well, that really changes things. There's no question about that. On another subject now, there were about 650 significant terror attacks around the world last year. Congressional staffers cited briefings from intelligence and State Department officials to come up with that number. It is a big increase over last year, but they said tonight that part of this results because of better record keeping. In Iraq today, the Prime Minister announced he has finally picked a cabinet representing all major religious and ethnic groups. The Iraqi parliament could vote on it tomorrow. Also today, the U.S. military said more than 130 suspected militants have been caught in a series of raids this week. More and more of these raids are being launched after tips from civilians, which is a habit the government is trying to encourage, and they've come up with some new ways to do it. Lee Cowan has a report on that now.
The new, increasingly coordinated attacks by insurgents have led the government here to a new and coordinated approach in fighting it. TV ads. This is one of them, an ad with quick cuts between a crowded marketplace and a suicide bomber's garage. Back and forth it goes from one scene to the other, getting closer and closer to the bomber's finished product. Most chilling of all, though, is the bomber's hands being chained to the steering wheel, and then the revving of an engine as he drives by potential victims. It's an attention grabber, to say the least. What comes next to the ad is a phone number for the Ministry of the Interior to report any suspicious activity. The rest of the ad looks like this. But a scene like this rarely happens here. Iraqi participation is rooting out insurgents after they strike. The challenge, though, for Iraq's security forces remains preventing the attacks. Not for lack of trying.
It takes a lot, for these guys to show up this morning and actually want to volunteer, because until they get on the other side of the wire, inside the perimeter, they're a target.
Nearly 200 Iraqi security personnel have been killed in the last month. So many that family members are now eligible for a check. $2,568, the going rate now for the life of a recruit. After all, with the absence of a formal government, they are the only Iraqi establishment keeping order, many with minimal assistance from the coalition. But their greatest ally is still the Iraqi people, who are being urged once again to pitch in. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Baghdad.
And elsewhere in the Middle East today, the last 250 Syrian soldiers left Lebanon, crossing the border in buses and on foot. They were remnants of a force that once numbered 40,000 and controlled much of Lebanon for these last 30 years. Finally free of foreign occupation, the Lebanese plan national elections next month. Coming up next, this man is in jail on terrorism charges, but that's not stopping him for running for office. What's the deal? We'll have the inside story. But first, CBS News honors fallen heroes. Neil Pecci, he achieved a lot in his short life. He made Eagle Scout and, through months of physical conditioning, overcame asthma to become a Marine. He was a big movie buff, and he loved Schwarzenegger, Metallica, and Shakespeare. He volunteered for a second tour in Iraq because he wanted to finish the job. He was killed in a Humvee accident.
Laxatives like that can cause cramps. Huh? Try Phillips Caplets. What's the difference? Phillips effectively relieves constipation overnight without cramps because it's stimulant-free. I'm switching to Phillips. Phillips, effective relief, cramp-free.
Why is Ortho Season-Long Grass and Weed Killer better than the leading brand? Because it doesn't just kill existing weeds, it prevents new weeds from growing all season long. So you don't spend the entire season killing weeds. Ortho Season-Long.
Exhilaration when you need it. Utility, even when you really don't. The 7-seat SRX Performance Utility. Cadillac, breakthrough.
Visit your local Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer and join the Hot Button event.
There's never been a better time to talk with your doctor about Ambien. Because now you can try Ambien free. Visit Ambien.com for details.
Cats can't resist Whiskas' new meaty selections. It's our meatiest tasting cat food ever.
Ask your doctor today if Lipitor is right for you.
I have diabetes. I test a lot. I deal with the pain. But since I switched to Freestyle Flash, which uses the smallest drop of blood, it's virtually pain-free. Boy, can I deal with that.
Freestyle Flash, virtually pain-free.
Want to know a secret? Some otherwise intelligent people don't always eat right. That's why there's Delicious Ensure, a source of complete balanced nutrition, vitamins, minerals, food energy. If you don't eat right, eat smart. Ensure, nutrition for a healthier you.
Federal jury in Virginia today convicted an American Islamic scholar of inciting other Muslims to join a jihad or a holy war against this country. Ali al-Tamimi is a native-born U.S. citizen. He's 41 after the September 11th attacks. He urged followers to join the Taliban and fight U.S. forces in Afghanistan. He could face life in prison. In a somewhat similar case, U.S. authorities accuse a British computer expert of using the internet to recruit Islamic fighters and to raise money for terrorists. He's currently in jail in Britain, but here's the twist. He's also running for a seat in Parliament in the upcoming elections. Elizabeth Palmer has the inside story.
Babar Ahmed may be in prison fighting extradition to the U.S. on terrorism charges, but that hasn't stopped him running for a seat in the British Parliament. Ahmed is a candidate for the Peace and Progress Party, set up by actress Vanessa Redgrave, partly to oppose Britain's new anti-terrorism laws.
We're living in the last days of the last remnants of democracy in this country.
Baba Ahmed doesn't stand much of a chance of being elected, but his candidacy does point to widespread anger against the ruling Labour Party, especially among Britain's 1.5 million Muslims. They especially resent Prime Minister Tony Blair's close alliance with President Bush in the war on terror. And now, say Muslim leaders, Blair faces a backlash at the polls.
Traditionally, the Muslim support has been for Labour, but the war in Afghanistan and then the subsequent war in Iraq, particularly, I think brought down that level of support very considerably.
Tony Blair, go to hell! Tony Blair, go to hell! If these radicals had their way, British Muslims wouldn't even support the democratic process.
Shouting! This is shameful answer!
They too are angered by Britain's alliance with America. But their solution is to boycott elections and harangue politicians, even those famous for championing the Muslim cause, like George Galloway.
Georgie boy, we're going to follow you. And we know where you are.
I'm feeling very threatened by your behavior.
He's a threatened man.
I'm feeling very threatened by your...
I thought you were the champion. You're a coward.
In the end, radical intimidation won't keep the mainstream from the polls. Galvanized by resentment of the war in Iraq and anti-terrorism laws, many Muslims will vote on May the 5th. It just won't be for Tony Blair. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.
And coming up, a push to ban books from public school libraries because the authors happen to be gay.
My doctor said I needed fiber, but Metamucil is thick and gritty. My doctor said I should take Benefiber. Benefiber has just as much fiber and never gets thick or gritty. Ask your doctor about Benefiber. For me, the choice is clear.
Would you buy a car without an airbag or a safety belt? Would you
Put my little brother in a car without his car seat?
Would you put me in a car without OnStar? I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Hey, Dad. By the time I go to college,
You'll wonder how you ever
drove without it. Don't wait, Mom. It's the next big step in safety. Who's going to go there first?
Someone should.
For a kitchen so clean it sparkles, use new Formula 409. 409's deep cleansing formula strips away impurities for a brilliant clean. Let your kitchen shine with Formula 409.
For you, my sweet. I see you are overcome with love. Or could it be congestion and other seasonal nasal allergy symptoms? Your congestion will not keep us apart.
Only Nasonex is clinically proven to both treat and help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Love means never having to say you are congested.
To treat and help prevent most seasonal nasal allergy symptoms, Nasonex is the one. Talk to your doctor.
When something really fits, you can feel it. Like the fit you get with C-Bond denture adhesive. It's the only wafer that has a gasket effect that locks dentures in place, gives you all-over coverage, all-over hold. No mess, no ooze.
When your dentures really fit, you can feel it.
The denture adhesive with the gasket fit, C-Bond. And give toothpaste and tablets the brush off. New C-Bond Brightening Gel Cleanser does the job of both.
Alert, 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 alert.
Sir, we got a level 2 case of diarrhea.
He's losing it!
Remember the Imodium? The new liquid gin. It works often in just one dose.
Soothing Imodium liquid transfer in progress. Calming taking effect. Normal function resumed.
Enjoy your day, Jim.
New Imodium liquid. Make peace with your body.
Americans are getting a little concerned about where the economy is headed. A report out today shows that while confidence in the economy is still relatively strong, it has now fallen for 3 straight months. On the other hand, the housing market is stronger than ever. The government says new homes were selling in March at the fastest pace on record. Wall Street took all that into consideration and stock closed lower today. In Alabama, a bill moving through the state legislature could force a lot of library books off the shelves there. It would ban many works by or about gays and lesbians. We have a report on it tonight from Mark Strassman.
This play tells the story of Matthew Shepard, a student beaten to death because he was gay. And soon, it could be banned in Alabama public schools.
On this particular bill.
Because Alabama lawmaker Gerald Allen says homosexuality is an unacceptable lifestyle. Under his bill, public school libraries could no longer buy new copies of plays or books by gay authors or about gay characters.
I don't look at it as censorship. I look at it as protecting the hearts and minds and souls of our children.
Books by any gay author would have to go. Tennessee Williams, Truman Capote, Gore Vidal. Alice Walker's novel, The Color Purple, has lesbian characters. Allen originally wanted to ban even some Shakespeare. After criticism, he narrowed the bill to exempt the classics, although he still can't define what a classic is. Also exempted now, Alabama's public and college libraries. But to librarian Donna Schremser, the issue is what she calls the thought police, patrolling the shelves of any library.
The idea that we would have a pristine collection that represents one political view, one religious view, that's not a library.
I think it's an absolutely absurd bill.
First Amendment advocates say the proposed ban clearly does amount to censorship.
It's a Nazi book burning. It's a remarkable piece of work.
But in book after book, Gerald Allen reads what he calls the homosexual agenda, and he's alarmed.
It's not healthy for America. It doesn't fit for what we stand for, and they'll do whatever it takes to reach their goal.
You sort of see this as a line in the sand?
Yeah, I do.
In Alabama's legislature, the reviews of Allen's bill are still out on whether to lower this curtain for good. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Montgomery, Alabama.
And listen to this one. In Arizona today, a childless couple who turned to a surrogate mother for help suddenly needs a lot of help. The surrogate gave birth to quintuplets, 5 boys delivered in 5 minutes. All of the children weighed less than 4 pounds at birth. Despite that, they were all said to be doing well, including one who was born with a heart defect. Regular viewers of this broadcast know we like to keep track of animals that show up in the wrong places. So bring on the buffalo. A herd of them wound up on a tennis court in Maryland today after they got loose from a nearby farm. The police corralled them there and eventually led them onto trucks for the final buffalo drive home. Coming up, amaze your friends. Now you too can have your own radio show. We'll tell you how after these messages.
You dust and dust again, and then the dust is back again. So next time, dust with Pledge. Unlike dry dusting, Pledge does more than remove dust. Pledge's anti-dust formula cleans your wood while you dust it and keeps it less dusty longer. For wood beauty that lasts longer, let Pledge rescue you. S.C. Johnson, a family company. And don't forget anti-dust formula, Pledge wipes.
In this crazy world, it's nice to know there's someone you can always count on.
This is a great day.
Nobody sells more real estate than Remax.
Denture wearers, we stained a string of pearls in barbecue sauce, not just to prove the stain-removing strength of Efferdent Plus or the freshening power of its Listerine ingredients, but to give every denture wearer the confidence to show those pearly whites. The confident clean of Efferdent Plus.
Arthritis pain can make people say goodbye to little things they love. Unless they've heard the good news about Aleve. Only 2 Aleve are safe and strong enough to stop arthritis pain all day. That would take 8 Tylenol. Ask your doctor the good news about Aleve.
Imagine a best-selling minivan, now at a 5-star crash safety rating, and give it a longer powertrain warranty. Back it with 5 years roadside assistance and price it right. What would you have? The Kia Sedona. It's not only a better value, it's a smarter buy. Get a 2005 Sedona for $18,120 after $3,000 cash back.
Hurry, offer ends soon.
I am a sleep-deprived second-year law student. If you need to find me, check the library first. I was told by my dad to follow through, and not just with your golf swing. I have a Discover card. I use it for the cashback bonuses. I'm putting them towards my summer hiking trip to the Yucatan. Correction, I'm not gonna crack a book all summer trip to the Yucatan.
This is our card, the Discover card.
We're out of water. That means I can't mix my fiber drink or take fiber pills.
No problem. Try Benefiber Chewables. Tasty orange cream, no water needed.
We're saved!
Benefiber Chewables makes taking fiber easier.
Hillsborough has seen a recent spike in gang activity.
On KOIN News 6 at 6, we'll ride along on a gang call to find out what police are doing to combat it.
Andy Warhol famously observed that in the communications age, everyone would be famous for 15 minutes. Well, Andy didn't know the half of it. Blogs have allowed everyone to have his or her own newspaper, and now we learn it's possible for all of us to have our own radio show. To show you how with it we are, we have downloaded this report from Sharon Alfonsi for tonight's Eye on America.
Meet the lascivious biddies.
I want to be famous.
They're not exactly pop princesses, but in the last few months, they've broken through with thousands of new fans.
More than just any old girl.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Because of this man and a new medium he helped create.
Podcasting with Adam Curry.
Adam Curry is a former MTV VJ and the pioneer of podcasting.
This is basically the start of our sound-seeing tour of South Beach.
Anyone with a microphone and a message can follow in his footsteps and record their own show from anywhere.
Do you ever feel crazy just walking down the street talking?
Totally. This should be a good show.
The show he just recorded is posted onto the web, where, using software Curry helped develop, anyone can transfer it to an iPod or an MP3 player and listen to it whenever or wherever they want.
It is talkies for the web. It's a total upgrade from where we were.
How quickly has this taken off?
There are already thousands of podcasts.
Family, finance, food, games, gossip.
Beercasting.com.
A lot of people love talking about beer.
Are they professional broadcasters?
No, and that's what makes it so beautiful.
Beautiful to everyone except, perhaps, the professionals. Podcasting could turn traditional radio on its ear.
I've just heard about one way. You can wring your hands about what's going to happen, or you can just sort of get on board for the wild ride.
Which is what WNYC radio host Bob Garfield is doing.
This show is also being podcasted.
Hoping to pull in more listeners. For Curry, it's music to his ears.
Is this the future?
I think we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg.
He's seen the power of the new technology after he featured the lascivious biddies on his show.
This is music that has no record deal, but I think is great.
The group's CD sales skyrocketed.
Now we can reach everybody all, four corners of the globe.
Famous.
The biddies are now singing the praises of podcasting, a revolution for anyone that just wants to be heard. In Miami, I'm Sharon Alfonsi for Eye on America.
Bet those lascivious biddies could show all of us a thing or two. I'm Bob Schieffer. We'll see you tomorrow.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart. The Walmart price, saving you money on the things you need every day. The drug epidemic that's changing the way pharmacies do business. Tomorrow, experience CBS News.
I'm Mike Donahue at City Hall, where commissioners will vote Thursday night on whether to withdraw from the Joint Terrorism Task Force. It won't be unanimous. The story coming up.
Plus, gangs are terrorizing the West Side, so what are police doing to stop them? We'll ride along with officers to find out.
And hold on to your wallet. Gas prices are at another all-time high here in Oregon. Find out how much it'll cost you to fill up just ahead on KOIN News 6.
Now, for Portland, Southwest Washington, and all of Oregon, this is KOIN News 6 at 6 p.m. News that's to the point.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to KOIN News 6 at 6. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Kelly Day. Thanks for joining us tonight. Tonight, a Portland City Commissioner says it would be...
Newscast after World News tonight.